Hello, everyone. You're welcome to the JMA Connections this Wednesday, the 26th of November 2025. I'm here for another session of some information flash and briefing on, what is going on within the southern Cameroons and in the Republic of Cameroon, the neighboring Republic of Cameroon. And so I'm delighted to be here once more this day. And if you're just joining in, you're on the JMA Connections. If you're not yet subscribed to this channel, please go right ahead and subscribe right now so that you'll be the first to know anytime something drops on this platform. Of course, this is where when the news breaks, we come together to make greater meaning out of it and to drive your clearer understanding of the things that are happening around you. And one other thing we do on this platform is we share the link to the communications as much as possible so that we reach as many people as possible so that we continue to stay informed, to stay sensitized, and to stay mobilized as we continue our crusade towards justice, freedom, and then peace. And so, folks, today activities in the Republic of Cameroon and, of course, in the southern Cameroons, aka Ambazonia, are seriously overshadowed by news of the coup that happened in Guinea-Bissau this day. You know, there was also a presidential election in Guinea-Bissau, and on Sunday, which was the 24th of I think Sunday was the 23rd of November. The incumbent president, his name was Umaru Sisoko Embalo, who is 53 years old, declared victory. And as soon as he declared victory, the opposition leader also declared victory. It's considered that Umaru Sisoko Embalo declared victory, preemptively. And so the opposition candidate believed that he was declaring victory, while the tallying and the consolidation of the votes was not yet done. According to the norms, because he had already plans to consolidate power by bending all the state institutions to his will. Something not as close to what is happening in Cameroon as anyone can think. But to imagine that Umaru Sisoko Embalo is just 53 years old, almost half the age of Mr. Paul Biya, and that he has not been in power for as long as Mr. Paul Biya has been. Mr. Paul Biya has been in power for 43 years. That is just 10 years. 10 years is the gap between the duration of Mr. Paul Biya in power and the age of Mr. Umaru Sisoko Embalo. But you see, the military did not waste time. The military decided to swoop in. And according to reports, they say gunfire erupted near the presidential palace and National Electoral Commission as President Umaru Sisoko Embalo said he had won that he had won Wednesday. So around 1 p.m., the military said enough of all of this nonsense because he claimed 65%. He claimed that he had won 65% of the votes cast during Sunday's election. And so the coup is justified basically by the fact that there's been serious rising tensions between the presidency and the military that was emboldened by the president's efforts to try and have a stranglehold on all other states' institutions. Now, when you hear this and you see that Cameroon is still going through serious post-election tensions, yet in that country, with somebody who is 93-year-old, diaper wearing, a genocidaire, someone who 3/4 of the time during the day does not even know where he is, yet the military of that country is busy. Is busy protecting him and killing tens of people to protect his stay in power. Whereas when you look around, there is nothing to show for the 3 years he's been in power. If anything, poverty. If anything, misery. If anything, suffering like never before seen. If anything, embezzlement and corruption, even institutionalized. If anything, chronic human rights violations. But now you look at who are the key figures that have been arrested in that country, in Guinea-Bissau. The first and most important people to be arrested after the president himself are General Biya na Ntana. That's the Armed Forces Chief of Staff. Sounds familiar? You look at someone like Rene Claude Mecca in Cameroon. What do you think Rene Claude Mecca can do? If people want to rise up, you look at somebody like Dano who is 83 years old, they call him military chief of staff. Oh yeah, those kind of cronies, all they will do is protect a dying system because they are benefiting from it. And that's why I keep saying that those who really organize successful military coups usually are not those who are in positions of privilege. You look at what is happening in Burkina Faso. Traore was not a general. Traore was not a colonel, was Captain Ibrahim Traore. This is the difference. And so we will soon be getting the identities of the key leaders of the coup in Guinea-Bissau. And of course, another person arrested is General Mamadou Touré, the deputy chief of staff, and then the interior minister, Boche Kande. Of course, interior minister, you know why? It definitely was as parrot, he was just parroting trash like a Tanga Ponji in Cameroon. In this kind of systems, where there is autocracy, the interior ministers during elections are always an extended arm of election muzzling, election rigging, and all the ills that go with election banditry. So that's why the key targets will be like you saw there, the military chief of staff, the deputy military chief of staff, the minister of the interior, then the president himself. So in the situation with Cameroon, if something were to happen, you expect that first they make sure they lay hands on Paul Biya. After Paul Biya, the next culprit will be Rene Claude Mecca. After Rene Claude Mecca, perhaps they'll look around and say, okay, who else is even influential in this whole nonsense? They'll pick up that person, but they will never miss Atanga Ponji. Perhaps in the case of Cameroon, they'll tell themselves that if you begin with Atanga Ponji, definitely you might be striking the court, because that is one who doesn't economize his words in threatening people, in calling people names. They make sure they provide some useless kind of drugs that they call caillou, tramadol, all kinds of things, make what you call sachet whiskey very common, rampant, and extremely cheap to decimate the brains of the young people, and then turn around when they are protesting election banditry. Tanganji calls them drug addicts who are just confused and loitering around in the streets. Just look at the level of provocation that a people are swallowing. That said, let's delve back internally. In Cameroon, let's delve back to the Republic of Cameroon. I was listening to a video that's in circulation by Alice Nkom, the spokesperson for Cameroon's president-elect. I still want to call him like that, Issa Chiroma Bakari, despite the fact that in the Gambia, they actually just describe him as an opposition leader who contested the last presidential election. But for the people of Cameroon, he is still the president-elect of Cameroon. And so Alice Nkom has come out with a video where she's giving an action plan at least for 1 week. But in this action plan, she's addressing some very interesting issue. You know, why people are still reeling, complaining, feeling vexed and bitter about the stolen presidential election of October 12, 2025, the CPDM system, the gang in Yaoundé, have already stolen another election that will be stage managed on the 30th of November. That is Sunday. Because on Sunday, the 30th of November, there is an election which will be ongoing. Because when I followed Alice Nkom, say she was calling for ghost towns, yes, for ghost towns on Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. The first thing you ask yourself, but why is she calling for ghost towns on a Sunday? Sunday, normally, businesses, some businesses are closed, government offices are shut down, every place, most places are shut down except for churches and then some few, businesses in the informal sector. So why would she be calling for a ghost towns on a Sunday? Of course, that ghost town on that Sunday is because of what they call again another charade of an election, something they call regional elections. That they are electing people into regional assemblies. But again, take note, that is not an election organized or that is going through universal suffrage. That particular election is an election that is organized around an electoral college. Those who make up the electoral college are only councillors in all the regions. And so these councillors if you're declaring ghost towns on Sunday, that is likely going to be inconsequential, though, because these councillors will already be gathered together, lodged in hotels, as it is the tradition, already cooked, educated, and they already know what the vote is going to be. And regarding that particular vote, I said here before that the mandates of these particular councillors who are going to elect members of the regional assemblies, their mandate acquired at the polls had expired. The mandate expired and they were supposed to organize council and parliamentary elections before the presidential election. But because Paul Atanganji and the Yaoundé gang wanted to make sure that Maurice Kamto will not be a candidate at the 2025 presidential election, they decided to, by decree, extend the mandates of those councillors and the members of parliament. The only reason was because they knew if the elections were organized and Maurice Kamto's MRC party went to the polls and got at least one or two councillors anywhere in the country that would qualify Maurice Kamto to be candidate, without any disputes at the 2025 presidential election. But while they did that, they still made sure that that particular election will not take place before the election of members of the regional assemblies, because now you are using a rigged electorate to organize another election to give people a 5-year mandate. That is still another form of electoral banditry, because those who are electing now no longer enjoy the direct mandate of the people. Of course, I'm talking about the Republic of Cameroon, because in the southern Cameroons, we have no councillors. In the southern Cameroons, we have no members of parliament. Anyone parading our streets, calling himself councillor, calling himself member of parliament, calling himself mayor or whatsoever, are all impostors. And this is the message I've passed across over and over again. I'm reminding one stupid Ngaput in Bamenda, who is loitering around, burning people's businesses, shutting down people's businesses, sealing people's businesses, wreaking havoc in the city, saying he's also a pastor. One Ngaput called Achobang Paul. That one, I have said it over and over, that he is an impostor and should be treated as such. That's someone nobody should take any instructions from, because he is an appointee of Yaoundé, a colonial appointee with only mission to wreak havoc, bring pain, bring suffering to the people of the southern Cameroons. He's not alone. There is another one in Limbe, in Victoria, who, after the past election, went around sanctioning people claiming that they did not vote for his candidate, Paul Biya. I don't know how that comes about in a situation where people are supposed to be all alone, all by themselves in the polling booths, and this sacred ballot, they vote and they come out of there. It's only them who can tell you who they voted for. If they don't tell you, you won't know. But how did this so-called city mayor in Limbe know that this or that person who was working at the council did not vote for Paul Biya? It's a story for another day. This tells you exactly what you are grappling with. And these are colonial agents. They may be of Southern Cameroon's extractions, but they are not with us and they are not for us. These are colonial agents. And so what they are going to be organizing in the Southern Cameroons, we don't recognize that election. But now over in the Republic of Cameroon, even they too are now contesting this particular election. And Alice Nkom says she's coming out with an innovation that on Sunday, she's organizing that particular regional election on Zoom. And say they are going to create platforms where from all the regions of the Republic of Cameroon, people will come online, they will vote online, the vote counting and tallying will be done online, and they will declare the results online. That would be some wonderful innovation that I will be watching very closely to see how it happens. So those will be 2 elections taking place in parallel. And then that aside, she says this ghost towns will go from Sunday, and then they will also be on Monday and then Tuesday in the Republic of Cameroon. One interesting thing, she says the people of the Southern Cameroons already have their traditional Monday ghost towns. So they of the Republic of Cameroon will join the people of the Southern Cameroons on Monday in ghost towns. And I heard her say something that is solidarity. Listen, folks, we are at a very crucial moment of our liberation history, at a very crucial moment of our efforts to kick the colonial La République du Cameroun and its sponsor, France, out of our territory. At this point, I don't want to get into too much analysis as to whether this solidarity that Alice Nkom is saying is a newfound one and why it never came before. There are too many questions we can ask around that. But for the benefit of doubt, because we want to keep our eyes on the bigger picture, let's ignore that for now. So she says they will also be on ghost towns on Monday. And then on Tuesday, they will also be on ghost towns. That Tuesday will be the 2nd of December 2025. Listen, folks, in the southern Cameroons, we know what we are doing. In the southern Cameroons, we know our mode of operation. In the southern Cameroons, we know the days we are staying home stricto sensu. That election on Sunday does not concern us. On Sundays, we operate normally because people are preparing to stay home for Monday. So on Monday, of course, we will stay home. They are staying home over in the République du Cameroon. Awesome. We'll watch them do it and we will applaud them. Like I said, we need to encourage them. We need to give them a pat on the back. Each time they make one interesting move, we should tell them, you are doing a great job. Because we need to encourage them to rise up, to free their own country. In the process of freeing their own country, they are preparing so that they could come back with clear-cut, reasonable minds to sit down to the table with us so we discuss the future of our relationship with them as very, very close neighbors. This is very important. And then on Tuesday, we'll be watching them. Now, this is a word a word I want to share with the social media talking heads, activists of the Republic of Cameroon. If you know Paul Chuta, you know his contact. If you know Nzuimanto, you know his contact. If you know who is this other one, Boris Berthold, you know his contact. See, he often shares his contact. If you know J. Remingono, of course you watch him very well. I watch him too. You know his contact. You know every other one, General Valsero. You know, you get his contact. Share with all of these people. Tell them they must beginning this Wednesday that I'm talking. They have Thursday and Friday again. Tell them they should do everything. Get people on the ground in the Republic of Cameroon to print tracts and throw those tracts on the streets everywhere in the major cities, towns, and villages. Because when the people get up and see those tracts, they will know that there's something serious that is about to happen. Just letting Alice Nkom say what she's saying on social media, that video circulating, you're not sure how many people it's going to reach. So you want that everyone on the ground should know that something serious is about to happen. They should use all of those avenues. Also encourage them to use even text messaging. Send text messaging and encourage people to forward those text messages to everyone in their contacts about this upcoming ghost towns on Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. Tell them that mobilization is key, because where there is no mobilization, you don't expect success. And let them know that the success of these operations will be very encouraging to all of them. And so if they need success, they must invest. They should not sit down and think that because Alice Nkom is a spokesperson, it is Alice Nkom's duty all by herself to make this succeed. No. They all have to be a part of this success story. They all have to spend money. Do not wait to think that there are some key people. Call even close friends who are back home, relays, family members who can go and prepare the graphic of this tracts. Email it to them. Let them just go print them, and everybody should print in their neighborhood where they are, so you don't go far, run the risk of getting caught. They throw them out at odd hours. So when people come out, they just pick those things from behind their houses. They start telling themselves, so some of the organizers are right here. It means if I don't go out, they are going to be seeing me. This is how they mobilize. This is how you get people ready. This is how you warm up the ground. They need to keep the steam alive. If they have to uproot a dictatorship that has been in place for 43 years like that of Paul Biya, it needs persistence. You can't flee from them and think that they will run away. No, you need to resist them. Resist them and resist them all the way to the end. This is what I'm saying. So we need to encourage them. Listen, there's been a lot of mockery at this people, a lot of laughter. Oh, they are sardiners, they are bread eaters, they are sardine eaters, they are tantroy drinkers, they are bouffons, swallowers. Yes, they are MBB, manger bois baiser, they are this and that and all whatnot. Now is the time to tell them, no, you are great guys, that you are toughians, you have what it takes to overthrow that stupid system. Oh yes, now is the time to tell them that, oh, you started, now we see you have potential, you have a lot of potential, push it on. General Valsero and the others don't just come talk on social media. Send money to people to print tracks and distribute these tracks in their quartiers. Everyone, chacun dans son quartier. Chacun là où il habite. Oui, chacun là où il habite. Versez ça de gauche et à droite, les tracts. Chacun. So do the graphics and then just send to the people. Send them money. Send taxi money. Send bike money. Say, do it only in your neighborhood. Don't go far. So you can do it at odd hours. When people get up in the morning, in front of their doors, they see them everywhere. Text messaging. Hey, un rappel. Des messages, des SMS très courts, de pas plus de 160 caractères. Juste un rappel, tout le monde, de dimanche, lundi et mardi, le 2 décembre, personne ne sort, ville morte, il faut partager comme reçu, ou bien partager comme n'importe comment. That everybody encourage people to share. This will help them. This will help them. No people just get up one morning and they're able to do it. Sometimes some people are slow to get it, so they need some degree of apprenticeship. Folks, I will be here as the news drops, and we will be developing it as we get it. And I guess that today we will still be back here as developments occur. That said, we have to stay strong, especially to my people of the southern Cameroons. We have to stay mobilized. We have to stay vigilant. We have to watch very carefully our movements to ensure that we are staying safe, but we are staying focused. And always remember, freedom is the most expensive commodity on the planet Earth. You cannot get freedom without investing in the fight for it. So sponsor your freedom. Until we meet again, thanks so much for your very kind attention. Share, and make sure you subscribe. To God be the glory.